Good afternoon, Adrian.
Hey, Tommy,
and,
mate.
Yeah, and welcome, team, to the inaugural Cap TV. I
Pretty
always feel like I
exciting.
needed to say Cap TV show or something, right?
Well,
Well, if they've got any better ideas, if you've got any better ideas on the name, then get them in here. Let's hear from
but
you.
at the moment it's a Cap TV.
The Cap TV
we
is
came
what
up
we
with
go
that
with.
this morning.
Right. Okay.
So
We're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it. All right.
Yeah.
So here we are. And what special day is today, Adrian?
It's Freedom Friday.
It's Freedom Friday.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And look at this freedom behind us.
is.
Got the ocean.
Don't worry, they'll get
Yeah.
jealous. They're going to get a little pissy if we keep
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that. They've seen enough of us with this background. So Cap TV, what's Cap TV about, actually?
Yeah, look, for me, Tommy, it's about bringing content, bringing information, bringing some sharing, bringing connection.
Right.
Because what's missing a lot when people have that work head on,
Yeah.
is the lack of connection.
Right.
What you and I can do in Cap TV, we can offer that connection through this medium. We can get the guys to be typing in and connecting with us just from LinkedIn to begin with,
Right.
and just having that communication conversation.
Okay.
So a lot of it, I think, is about you and I having a conversation. Actually,
Yeah.
that's the bottom line.
All
And
right.
from that conversation, we can impart some information, some wisdom, pose some questions,
Right.
and impart some of our experience and skills as well. Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be using like the Mondays and the Fridays as this. They're both transition days, right?
They're touch points, They're touch points to keep the connection,
Right.
and they transit from the work week
Right.
into the weekend, and the weekend to the work week.
Right, okay.
So it keeps it moving.
Right.
When we have those touch points, where people can tune into us Mondays and Fridays, and we can support that process of that transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, let's say, Friday, here we are, it's Freedom Friday, like you said, right? And we're headed to the weekend. I mean, how are we going to structure this? We're going to look back on the week and then...
I think reviews are always good. If you're in business, there's nothing like a good review.
A good review.
A good review
Well,
of the
let's
week.
check your forecast and also how are your numbers looking from the last
the
week.
KPIs.
Oh, that's always good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so we could call this KPI Friday.
Right.
Could be a new name, KPI Friday.
Yeah, not in Freedom Friday.
No.
Yeah.
And,
it's when you start decompressing from the week, right?
So if we do that, let's go back to Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was Monday, Tommy? Come on,
Right.
you ran
Okay,
Monday.
start
What's
the
it
week.
on
All
Monday?
right. Okay. So we're going to be coming to you on Monday with this as well for the transition over the weekend, as we said. But this Monday, so what happened this week? We kicked off. We've got new members
We
coming
have
into
Movement
the
Monday
group. We have
Yeah,
Movement
yeah,
Monday.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what you're talking.
That's what I was asking.
About. Okay. So we've got Movement Monday. We've got Tasty Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wellness Wednesday,
That's right.
and then we have
Thoughtful Thursday.
Thoughtful Thursday.
There you go.
And then we've got
Freedom Friday.
and then
Social Saturday.
Right,
And
and
Soulful Sunday.
Soulful Sunday. We go to church on
So
Sunday.
we've got a full week of content.
right? Full week of content
Every single week.
rolling out, and this is in the Corporate Alchemist Project
Yeah.
group.
Yeah, and all part of Cap TV.
Right. And Cap TV is going to be coming to you on the page.
Yes,
We're going to
on
have
the
Cap
page,
TV. So any of our group members that have been invited into the group, they will be able to have access, as will everybody, on the Cap page, the Corporate Alchemist Project page.
This will be
Look that up on
public.
LinkedIn. Yeah, right. And so that we can serve everybody pretty well. And then those that are interested in wanting to come into the group can, knock on the door.
And special members.
Slide open the little door and go, okay, it's sort of like a what do you call them? A speakeasy.
Yeah.
So okay, you can come in for some of our cocktails.
So we'll be doing Cap membership, of course.
Right, Cap membership. Yeah. So all right, then let's look at. I guess you're asking me what happened in the week. I thought I was doing the interviewing.
Yeah, all right.
What's going on? Okay. So what happened in your week, Adrian?
All right.
So Monday,
Let's say
I'm getting it.
The new interviewer.
Yeah, the new interviewer.
And so Monday, for me it was a bit of prep, Tommy, because on Wednesday night I was part of a network, a run called the Darkness to Daylight Run. It's a charitable run to bring awareness to family and domestic violence, and I've been doing that run for several years. And because of COVID-19, that run is usually in Brisbane around the river. Over an evening and a night and the morning was cancelled, postponed until October. But Rob Reed, who is the organizer of that run, decided he was going to keep the energy flowing So
Right.
he actually ran 110 Ks on Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
You mean
And
he ran through the night?
through the night, 110 kilometers.
This guy ran 110 kilometers
From
through
6
the-
p.m. until 11 a.m. Thursday. So to support that, what I did, I actually ran along this beachfront. I did 10 Ks. I ran from my place almost to your place and back again.
Right.
Barefoot on the concrete.
Barefoot
all
on
the same.
concrete, right.
And
Yeah, how's the knee?
I got a few blisters.
Blisters,
and,
sore
and
knees?
the knees a bit sore, and I
Yeah,
got a bit of
right.
stitch. But so preparation Monday, preparation Tuesday.
Okay.
So I was doing my moving,
Right.
and then on Tuesday I was really aware of my eating, the tasting,
Yeah.
to prepare my body for the run. And then Wellness Wednesday was about how well am I ready for this run.
Right.
So there was a lot of prep in that.
Yep.
So I was really looking after myself. And then Wednesday night at sunset, I took off. I did my run. Went home, had a hot bath, crashed and had a good sleep.
Wow, okay.
And then yesterday was Thoughtful Thursday, where I was actually thinking about that run.
Right.
I was thinking about those connected into domestic violence. I was
Right.
thinking about some of those victims. So it was very
Okay.
forefront in my thoughts.
Okay.
And then today, Freedom Friday, I've sort of let the week go. I've let the run go. I've let the pain go.
It's kind of important,
You know?
isn't it, too,
Yeah.
to let
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
of the previous day or let go
Yeah.
of the previous week.
Totally, yeah,
What,
no.
what are we doing when
Yeah.
we're doing that, by the way? I mean, what do you
Well,
mean by that?
I'm releasing some old thoughts, some old paradigms, some old thinking, some old tensions into a freedom of letting go, so I can bring something else new in. Because if we don't learn to let go of something, there's no room for something new.
There it is.
So when
Okay.
we let go of the old,
Right.
we can allow in the new.
Right.
So if I'm still carrying an old story, an old belief system, or an
Yeah.
old thought,
Yeah.
then I'm not transiting into that creative space to bring something
Yeah.
new in.
So this
So-
isn't this interesting? And I'm just going to go on a slight tangent
Yeah.
here. I mean, that is so key, is it not? Like on Thoughtful Thursday,
Yeah.
when you're getting mindful
Yeah.
and you're observing your thoughts. And I, as a coach around health and the physiological aspect and getting people to optimize there, look at what is holding them back.
Yeah.
Right? Why hasn't this new habit come into play? They know and they agree and they see what they need to do, but they're just not doing it. And it's like you're saying, it's because there's something that's holding them tied
Yep.
to the dock.
An old story, an old paradigm, an old belief system.
Right.
Something is unfinished. Like Freedom Friday for me is about letting go of maybe a tension, or
Right.
could be something happening in the workplace where there's a conflict that hasn't been resolved.
Yeah.
So if that's not resolved, you're going to take that into the weekend. And
Right.
probably not sleep well.
Had a tough week
Yeah,
at work.
tough week at
The
work.
boss was on your
Yeah.
case. His boss was
Yeah.
probably on his
Yeah.
case.
So for me, the freedom is
Right.
actually owning what needs resolving,
Right.
stepping into that space
Yeah.
to free oneself, so we're not taking that home.
Right.
And that could be with a partner, a client, a staff member, with yourself. Maybe you've got a conflict with yourself.
Right. You've been bugging yourself.
Maybe you've done
Treating
something.
yourself badly.
Yeah, something during the week. But
Right.
I didn't do my movement Monday.
Ah.
I didn't do my exercise, and I've been carrying that guilt all through the week.
Right.
Well, can you free yourself of guilt?
And that kind of sits a bit in the subconscious.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
like it's just
sits
sitting
there.
there. It's like going through life with a
And,
handbrake
and I'll
on.
tell you what, it nibbles away,
That-
Tommy.
right.
It nibbles away. And if you do that week after week,
Yeah.
month after month, the nibble becomes a gnaw.
Right.
And then
all of a
the gnaw
sudden you're
becomes
dragging all these things along.
And then you
with
end up with a monster sort of chewing away in your arms.
Right, right. So you're just
Yeah.
carrying that
Yeah.
weight. I mean, I would connect that from what I do with some of the things that start to happen around chronic disease.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you've been doing that for years,
Yeah.
then it's going to start to manifest in something that's not cool, that maybe you haven't got a symptom yet,
Yeah.
but it's been growing.
Yeah, it starts to atrophy,
Yeah.
like it gets more and more and more
Right.
and more and more.
Or it's toxic.
Yeah. It calcifies, it atrophies, it becomes more toxic.
Yeah.
And then there's a point where it's too much.
Right.
And that's when the crisis usually begins.
And where did it start?
Yeah.
Where
Monday.
did- Monday, right?
By not exercising, by not doing the
Well,
movement.
it could have been Monday,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
a few years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
But I mean, it's like in the.
But it starts in the
it's in the head.
Yeah,
or-
well, yes and no.
Because the thought's there first,
There's
though, is it? Or not?
thoughts there, but there's also in the physiology, or the lack of connecting to the physiological.
Right.
So if you're not doing the exercise,
Then you can't release.
You can't
some of that
release.
stuff.
Then the thought process starts about, why am I feeling sick?
Right.
So it's sort of partly it begins in the thought process, but
And
sometimes
part
it
of
can
it's-
belong in the body as well.
Right.
Because we're not doing the exercising.
Right.
And then it goes into the thought process
Right.
of, why am I not exercising?
Okay, so it
Yeah.
could be a conscious thought,
Yeah.
prefrontal cortex consciousness, where it lives, and then you've got the body could be so used to these habits
Yeah.
that it actually can come the other way.
Yeah.
So not only you could think it and then feel bad, but you could be just feeling bad because it's maybe in your subconscious,
Yeah.
and it sort of comes from there and then goes physiological.
Yeah, for instance, there's a lot of, and this is true fact, a lot of people have one leg shorter than the other, like it's quite common, and it can only be like 2 mil.
That was about 4 or 5 mil.
And the pain in the spine, or the shoulder, or part of the body from that couple mil. And if you go and actually get checked, you might find, because it's a huge percentage of people that are not exact. In the, and you can see in the way they sit and walk, and some people are more profound than others.
Right.
But just that change from a physiological will change your mindset.
Right.
Because the mind is always asking the question, why am I in pain? Why am I in pain? Why am I in pain?
Right.
Unconsciously as well as consciously.
Right.
And it's about going back to the physiology and changing that, 2 mil.
Yeah.
2 mil. I'm not. Yeah, that's not
it.
like,
I mean,
it's
over
not,
time, right?
Over time,
the damage it can do.
But the damage,
compounds.
Psychological,
Yep.
physiological, and then of course spiritualogical.
Right.
So just changing one's structural body from the physiological starts in the body because it's it could have been the way you sit or born. But then it becomes psychological. So sometimes it's not always psychological to begin with.
Right.
It's a bit of a
So it can be a
therapy.
feeling creates a thought, and a thought creates a feeling. It's like it can come either way.
Either
right?
way, and sometimes almost simultaneously, and it's hard to determine which is first.
Right.
And
it's interesting how this week, we're talking about over the week, the theme was consistency,
Consistency,
right? And I just put a little one in there around the 1%ers, in that little video I did for Thoughtful Thursday. And as much as the 1%ers can build into fantastic compounding change where you overestimate what you can achieve in a month, but underestimate what you can achieve in a year.
Yes.
Now flip that back to the dark side. Same can happen through accumulating and compounding interest.
Totally,
This stuff we're talking about, right?
Yeah, negative gearing.
Negative gearing, negative leverage and compounding. You don't want that.
Yeah, and just on that story, Tommy, about that 1%. Something I often share is in the gym space. If I'm doing pull-ups or leg presses or bench presses or anything, and what I often share with the people I'm working with is, if you do a routine of 6 or 7 things in the gym and you do 10 of each ordinarily, if you do that 11 times instead of 10, you've suddenly increased by 10%.
Right.
If you do 12 instead of 10, you've suddenly done 20% more.
Yeah.
And then you start to build on that every week or every month.
Yep.
You're starting doing 13 or 14 instead of 10.
Yep.
It builds up
It
really
accumulates,
quickly.
and it's not just a straight line. We're talking compounding interest. What happens
Absolutely.
compounding interest? It does this, right? And that's why I think we tend to underestimate what we can achieve in a year because the momentum you pick up goes up exponentially.
There you are.
Right?
And of course, coming to Freedom Friday, by doing that work through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
You're setting up a platform, right? As well.
Yeah, we can give ourselves that freedom because we're not carrying the guilt of not having worked, or the shame of, I didn't do my exercise this week, I didn't do my meditation this week, I didn't do my mindfulness this week.
Right.
So Friday for me is also about giving ourselves permission to be free.
Right.
Because we've done the work.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done the work, you're probably going to find maybe a struggle to be freer.
Right.
So the message is do the work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so you can free yourself on Friday.
Right.
Psychologically.
Because there is a reason, the logic behind the sequence that we put together over the 7 days.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that.
Okay.
It's news to Adrian.
I fed that in. Yeah, right, there we go.
It really is.
That went, In case you didn't know, one of us
knew.
One of us worked that out.
Tech Master Tommy knew all along.
We can almost go the Maslow hierarchy
We
type
can,
thing. It's like, first let's start with, okay, if I don't have a body, then I'm not existing on planet Earth. So let's not.
Well, you're getting metaphysical on me, mate.
Geez, I'm laying up on your side, right? But it's that's why we're moving. We're watching what we're eating. We're making sure that our body and our mind is on Wellness Wednesday. So Move It Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday is there for a reason, and Thoughtful Thursday. We've got a little magpie friend right there beside us. And then Freedom Friday to do that. What's he doing? It's crazy. We've got this friend here.
Oh, there you go.
Is he in shot? I'll just move him. I'll get him in the shot. Where is he?
Just there.
There we are. Oh yeah, there we are.
Hello, Jackie.
Okay, have a look.
Hello.
I think he's after some food. Okay,
you go.
maybe next time we'll be ready for you. All right, now that I've screwed up the whole camera angles.
Very good.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
See, we're live and
Always
raw.
gets
This is
it
what I love
exactly.
about the
This is real.
CAP yeah,
brilliant.
what I love about CAP TV, it's live, it's raw,
It is.
and you get Tommy and I in the raw.
Well, not
in
quite.
essence, not quite. Not this week.
Yeah, no.
Not this-
You should be so lucky.
Yeah. And this is what it's all about. It's about that real connection. You know.
Well, we just want to take the BS out of it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I think
totally.
out of the corporate world and taking the BS out of that
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
and you know, taking back what held that back held to the dock
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a lot of BS to then probably taking that out. What gap do we have? Well, maybe we put a bit more of a soul in there,
Yeah, yeah,
perhaps.
yeah,
You know. So
Getting a bit wooey.
well, it says the woo guy. So it says the wow wow
The
guy.
wow wow guy,
Right,
yeah, not
okay.
woo, wow wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we've got Freedom Friday. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a part of the week. Everybody just, I think a lot of the time they just decompress. They feel that. Sometimes they use a few accelerants,
Yeah, yeah.
like alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you used to be a bit of a drinker and a smoker. Well,
Yeah.
give me the story there, because you used to
Yeah.
smoke and drink.
Yeah, man,
And like
I-
you're no fun these days.
Yeah, am I organic apple juice?
Well, yeah. So,
yeah,
well, no,
yeah.
I'll get rid of that sugar too. We're going to get rid of the
Still
sugar.
full of fun, Tommy.
Right,
I don't need alcohol for fun.
No, I didn't. Yeah. Right, I'd like,
If
you
you
want to
want-
unleash the kraken.
Yeah, yeah. If you want fun, invite Adrian to the party. You know?
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll bring my DJ and I'll
You
do
were
the
a
dancing.
punk years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. So I was a wild punk, you know.
You had the mo,
Yeah,
yeah,
from
the
the age
mohawk.
of sort of 15, the Sex Pistols gig in
I
the UK.
can just see that.
And I was a bit of a wild boy.
Right.
You know, it's pretty wild boy.
So what happened?
Yeah.
Where did the shift? What happened to you that all of a sudden you became?
I think part of it was the music, because although I was a wild punk on the outside, at home I was into Bob Dylan, Santana, Cat Stevens. So there was the internal.
Cool. You just say punk.
So there was the
It's
internal Adrian,
Right.
and then there was that sort of external, the Sex Pistols Adrian, which was the protector.
Right.
You know, like I was out to protect myself
Right.
and
So
be
it's a
the tough
defensive
guy.
thing.
Defensive.
I mean, we see a lot of that in the corporate world too,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Today it's very sort of.
And I can go into the whole psychology about parenting and schooling
Right.
and education. There's a whole story that I'll share parts of at some point.
Right.
But there was a very much the protector Adrian
Yeah.
from the age of 10.
Right.
And that sort of atrophied into something a bit tougher.
Is it because it's part of your upbringing?
Part of my upbringing with my dad, my
Right.
parents,
Right.
it wasn't a very pleasant upbringing for
Right.
some points of it.
Okay.
Dad and booze.
Dad and booze, right.
And so
Okay.
I got a bit tougher on protecting mum.
Right.
So the protector came in.
Okay.
So part of me still in my persona is still the protector.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
It's kind of wired
even
in,
more,
but
yeah.
right.
Wired in, yeah. So
Yeah.
I work on that continually. But that punk rocker,
Yeah.
he was the protector. He was the one that had the persona outside, and
Yeah.
was a tough guy.
Yeah.
And then of course the drugs and the alcohol come on board.
It's interesting.
You know,
Sorry to interrupt, but how you said he was.
Yeah.
I think let's not put too light a touch on that. I
Yeah.
mean, you're looking back at a personality that you had back then.
Yeah, yeah.
And the set of behaviors.
Oh, totally, yeah.
formed
And,
that
and I've done,
personality.
40 years of psychotherapy around it to
Right.
clear that. I'm a psychotherapist,
Right.
for 20 years.
Yeah.
And part of the psychotherapy training
Yeah.
for the 5 years I did my training was working on myself first.
Right.
But that's what I loved about the training was like you don't go and see another client
Yeah.
until you've cleaned your own
Get your
act
own
up
shit
to
cleaned
a
up.
degree.
To a degree.
'Cause
Enough to be ahead of,
Yeah,
know enough
yeah,
to
yeah.
help somebody else.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So 4 or 5 years of deep psychotherapeutic work with the teachers, with the fellow students, uncovering the traumas, the past, the stories,
Yeah.
and the bullshit.
Yeah.
And then clearing that up, and then right through my teens, there were the drugs, the speed, the coke, and other things, and lots
Yeah.
of booze.
Right.
The English pub, 10 pints
Right.
10 pints of cider on a
Yeah.
Friday night.
Getting
You know,
spastic, as they would say in
back
Australia.
in the Cotswolds in England,
There
back
you
in the
go.
day. And,
Oh god, yeah. Do you have a soccer team as well?
Yeah, Swindon Town. I've still got the tats.
Oh my god, so you were the
I
tap
was a
thing. Were you a hooligan as well? Were you a bit of
I was a
hooliganism?
bit of a not. See, there was two sides. There was that outside
Were you a
sort of
skinhead
punky.
back then?
Yeah, I was a skin punk.
Skin punk.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
I was into the skinhead side and the
Right.
punk side.
Right.
So it was a pretty wild time.
Okay.
And then something happened around about the age of 18, 19.
Okay.
And I work a lot with biographies of people. I
Okay.
do time frame biographies, etc. And particularly time frames in our lives we can pinpoint where there were changes.
Right.
And one is around the age of 18 years and 6 months. It's called
Right.
the moon node. I got really esoteric on you.
Right.
And when we look back in our biographies, we can pinpoint. And when I was about that age, 18 and a half, I met an individual, a person that I started to get a sense I wanted to model the new me on.
Right.
And this guy was, well educated, really nice soul, nice being, and I ended up spending a few days with this man. He was in his 30s and I was 18 and a half.
Right.
And he became like a visual mentor for me.
Okay.
Something in my subconscious went, that's my path. Yeah, so 6 months later, I left the
Did it
UK.
happen in your head, in your heart,
In my body, in my
your
soul.
body? It's just
Yeah,
everything, just kind of
It
like
was. People have those meetings in life.
clicked there, but then
Yeah,
the whole.
yeah. There are those aha moments in life, I call
Yeah,
them,
right.
where something shifts, like call it a karmic moment or an opportunity
An alchemist moment.
An alchemist moment. And I had that. And that was in May of the year. And then in September,
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to go backpacking in Europe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I went. It was like just an
How old were you?
I was just before my 19th birthday.
Oh god.
And I was at the end
Damn,
of
I should have done that. That's
I
one
was,
of
I,
my
was
things,
the,
actually.
I was at the end of my 3-year traineeship of becoming a qualified baker. I had
Awesome.
like 2 months to go.
You know, we're gonna have a bake-off, not a bake-off because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
we're gonna have a
bake.
bake-off, yeah.
We're
Well,
gonna-
I've won,
we're
I've won
gonna-
already.
Okay, I
Yeah.
secede. Is that the word?
Yeah, yeah.
Concede.
yeah.
Concede.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So from that moment,
Right.
I quit my job
Okay.
with
what,
like
what were you doing? Baking.
baking. Yeah.
Right.
With like 2 months to go before I actually got my physical qualification.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was a watershed moment. I just
You were
decided
a
to
baker
go.
school dropout.
Yeah, baker
Right,
school.
right.
But I still qualified as a baker, so
Right.
3 years was enough
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
So I've
yeah.
written my own qualification.
Right.
And then I went traveling around Europe. I went backpacking around France, Germany, around
Yeah.
Luxembourg, and started to feel what it was like to let go of that punk.
Right.
So I didn't need that persona. I didn't need that protection because
Was it
I
holding you back from certain other things? Do you think, and you were missing out on things in life?
yeah, my freedom. Yeah, of becoming who I truly
Yeah,
am
Freedom
inside.
Friday. Wow.
Because I was locking myself into a personality that I was not.
Right.
Which I think is what happens in that office
So
space.
all
what
the
happens in that
defense
corporate
mechanisms
space.
that were there were
Yeah.
keeping you in a defense jail.
Yeah, because we get locked into a persona.
Right.
It could be called, the CEO persona or the
Right.
executive persona or
Oh,
the,
this is
the punk
interesting.
rock persona.
Right.
And we get locked into a persona of how other people see us.
Right, and they expect you to continue to be that way.
Yeah. Because it becomes a habit.
Right, right,
So breaking out of that, one has to change one's paradigm.
right.
So for me, it was changing my environment.
Okay.
Of getting out of my little town, getting out of the scene.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Did that happen? Like first thing is you changed
Yeah, yeah.
from the inside, and you became aware, and you made certain decisions. It
Yeah.
seems to change the punk. So was it then that, as a ripple effect, that your environment then started to change? Like certain friends would have
Yeah.
again ask you questions,
So-
or like, dude, you're not the same.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not fun anymore.
I think what I got in
Right,
touch
no.
with was my internal intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah, because actually I'm a very intelligent man, and I recognise that intelligence really early on.
Right.
And I'm not talking about intelligence in terms of exam intelligence and passing. That for me, that's just really clever at holding thoughts and memories
Right.
of what one's seen.
Right.
It's just a memory. Clever at having a good memory.
Right.
That's what most exams are based on.
Wow.
I can
Yeah,
remember
they
what
are.
I've learnt.
Right.
But
right.
intelligence is a little bit deeper for me. It's like a soul intelligence.
Yeah, no, I'll agree.
And I recognise that soul intelligence as the leadership, as a
Yep.
leader very early.
Right.
And I wasn't honouring that. I wasn't honouring myself in that old paradigm.
Well, they do say,
Yeah.
don't they, that the heart knoweth
Yeah, the heart
and
knows,
the mind thinketh.
Yeah.
So this thing's for
It's a
thinking.
bit of Shakespeare, isn't it?
No, the heart thinketh, the heart knoweth and the mind
Yeah,
thinketh.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny though, but we live, and especially in the corporate world,
Yeah.
having been 28 years there, that you're so locked in that you become addicted to thought.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
biochemicals, even though they're not good for you, like adrenaline, too much. It was supposed to escape from the
Yeah, yeah.
saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah, yeah.
but every minute of the day,
Yeah.
right?
Is the rational thinking, logic. And I spoke about that yesterday. If you have a look at the Thoughtful Thursday, we spoke about rational and intellectual thought rather
Right.
than creative thought.
Right.
And I think what I did, I allowed myself to become that creative thought. I started to travel, meet new people. I started to read different books. I was reading Orwell and Kafka and social political books, and I was traveling around Eastern Europe. I went to Czechoslovakia, Poland, and started to see different worlds. So I was seeing the communist, socialist world, so I can make comparisons to the capitalistic world of socialism.
Right.
So I had foot in both camps.
Yep.
I lived in West Berlin, traveled to East Berlin.
Crazy.
So I was
Wow.
seeing communism and capitalism, if you like,
Wow,
on
on both sides.
both sides.
And how both
Yeah.
populaces operated
Yeah.
and the value
Yeah.
sets they had.
So I
and
was
so on.
starting to make up my own mind on what was true for me.
Right.
from my own soul,
Okay.
and creating that freedom for myself,
Yep.
and starting to develop ideas of who I wanted to become.
Right.
So back in 1984,
Yep.
living in Berlin,
Yep.
reading 1984,
Right.
having the concept then that maybe that political regime that I'm living in needs changing.
Right.
The workplace. I worked for the British Army for 3 years,
Wow.
so as a punk.
Right. Of course.
Fit that one into your mindset.
Lieutenant Punk.
Yeah. So the deal was I had to wear a hat.
Right.
That was
Okay.
But,
So
yeah.
we've got 10 minutes. We're actually on stage in 10 minutes.
We are too.
That's
We're
insane.
being interviewed
We're
in
getting
10
the
minutes.
bench. Yeah, then we're going to be interviewed again.
Yeah.
We're on
TV
on a panel.
stars. We're TV stars.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're just so busy. So, all right. Look, I want to sort of continue this.
Yeah.
So let's put a marker to where we got to.
Yeah,
What
Berlin.
age?
Berlin, 1984.
We're in the Berlin.
We have Ich bin
Right.
ein Berliner. Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch.
Okay. All right.
I speak a bit of German.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Milan in the gap.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. Let's. I want to continue this because this is
Yeah.
interesting hearing about this and your whole journey into the space that you're at today, especially with the Freedom Friday. And a lot of this was you finding your freedom,
Yeah.
right? And as we give some tips for
Yeah.
people as they transition out to the weekend,
Yeah.
and what's tomorrow's name?
Social Saturday.
And then
Yeah, Soulful Sunday.
Soulful Sunday.
Yeah.
So we're going to be back, and not after this. Well, maybe after this break. We'll come back to you with the rest of Adrian's story.
My freedom story.
Freedom story.
Yeah.
Right here on the Cap.
Cap TV, mate.
Cap TV.
Cap TV. Yeah.
There it is. Unless you've got a
Yeah.
better name, right? We're after suggestions.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you can get us a better
We
one.
might run a bit of a comp. What about a Cap comp?
Capcom.
Yeah.
What
Let's
are
have
we
a little
going
bit
to
of
give away? I'll have to think about it.
We'll find something.
Maybe a pizza made by you.
We'll
We're
find
going to have to
something.
film you
Yeah.
making a pizza or
We
something,
will,
too,
mate.
some baking
We'll
in
do
the
it.
kitchen. That'll
We'll
be
do.
fun. You can teach me how to do some baking.
Okay, mate, we'll do it.
That'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
all right.
We'll have a pizza night.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll have a
Done.
Cap
Pizza night. There we go.
All right.
Fantastic.
Good on you. Freedom Friday.
Okay, Freedom Fridays.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you on the next one.
Take care.
Okay. Bye.